Hey guys, what's up? Himarthra here, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. In the last episode, we started our adventure, and in one video, managed to get through inside of the Great Deku Tree in about 25 minutes and beat the first boss of the game and picked up our heart container. Well done. Oh, well, thank you. I'm actually very glad that I got that all done in one video. I did, however, save this cutscene because I knew this was going to take at least a couple minutes and I didn't want to go over 25 minutes, so yeah. So he asks if you would listen because he has more to tell you. If you press no, too bad for you, it's a but thou must. So he lets you know where who cast the curse upon him, and that would in fact be our main villain of the game. For those of you that don't know anything about Zelda, spoiler alert, Ganondorf, whatever. But yes, he's evil. He is looking for the sacred power that is hidden in Hyrule, which is known as the Triforce. Now, they tell you this multiple times in the game, like at least 3. I'm going to give you the rundown version of this while this cutscene's going on. Long time ago, there was nothing. 3 goddesses descended into Hyrule and gave life to the world. Each one did different things. So 3 goddesses, Din, Ferori, and Nehru. Each one for a different goddess, one of power, one for wisdom, one for courage. After they completed making the world, they departed for the heavens, and the point where they left the world is marked by the Triforce. Whoever touches the Triforce will have their deepest wish granted. But in addition to this, they also must have, in order to obtain the Triforce itself, a balance within their heart of the 3 forces, power, wisdom, courage. If they do, then they'll have the Triforce. If not, then they will only get one piece of the Triforce, whichever part in their heart is strongest, and the other 2 will be divided amongst people that have extremely strong power in that area. So let's say somebody with extreme courage touches the Triforce, they would get the piece of the courage. Whoever has a lot of power would get the piece of power. Whoever has a lot of wisdom would get the piece of wisdom, like so. So basically the Triforce is something sacred. You don't want it to fall in the wrong hands. Duh. Which is basically after this whole little Triforce thing is what he says is, don't let Ganondorf get the Triforce. Like, don't get me wrong, this is pretty and all, but, oh man. See, this is why I'm glad nowadays. It's cutscenes like this that make you thankful that we don't have that 10 limit time limit anymore, because cutscenes like this would eat up like a third of the video. You know, like somewhere between a third and a half of the video. We're 3 minutes in right now, and this has been like all cutscene, and it's still going. I remember back in the day when we only had 10-minute time limits, and it got extended to 15, or it went from 10 to 11, and then 11 to 15. But even 15 for these cutscenes was still a pretty decent amount. But now that we've got unlimited uploads for everyone, it's all good. So yes, even though you did manage to break the curse on the Great Deku Tree, he was doomed before you started, so it was more of a test for anything. You're lucky that I got that heart container, otherwise I would have been very annoyed with you. But yes, apparently we are Hyrule's only hope. That's a good omen. So we need to go to Hyrule Castle and meet Princess Zelda. And we are also going to take this stone with us. This is a spiritual stone, because the Triforce is hidden behind something called the Door of Time. And you need the 3 spiritual stones in order to get past that. And this is one of those 3. You got the Kokiri's Emerald. This is a spiritual stone of the forest, now entrusted to you by the Great Deku Tree. I do love how the spiritual stones look, though. They look really cool. So yes, Navi's still our partner. But yeah, she's gonna be going with us everywhere. Bye, Great Deku Tree. I'll look forward to not having to deal with one of your monologues for a while. And apparently when trees die, they just turn into stone. At least that's what it looks like happened. Let's go to Hyrule Castle. Goodbye, Great Deku Tree. You can still enter inside there and get the Skulltula if you want later on. What's up, Mido? What did you do? The Great Deku Tree, did he die? How could you do a thing like that? It's all your fault. Yeah, it's clearly all my fault when you have no idea what happened. Whatever. So, you can go ahead and look around the village if you want. The co-carrier are going to say stuff like, man, Mido was really upset. What exactly happened? You know, things like that. But there's nothing important here for us to get. There's nothing we can pick up right now. So, we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to go ahead and exit. Leave our old lives behind. It wasn't good enough for me to care. Oh, right. This has always been a rather odd cutscene here. Like, you have cutscenes like in Twilight Princess, and yeah, I know this is like one time I'm actually backing Twilight Princess, and I know the game came out later, don't get me wrong. But you have like cutscenes like this one, and like the one in Twilight Princess where Ilia regains her memory. That, like, you just see these moments like this, it's like, just give her a hug, man. Like, I'm not asking for anything romantic, but like, it's trying to be tender and doesn't quite work. Like, you know, all they have to do is just, like, embrace for, like, a second, and then Link, you know, head off to his adventure. And it would be, you know, like a really sweet, tender moment. But instead it's just kind of awkward. And they just stand there staring at each other. It's really weird. But she gives you the Fairy Ocarina, and you'll be learning different songs on the Ocarina as you go through the game that are used for different things. But yeah, like right here, all you have to do is, like, you know, give her a hug or something like that. And instead, he takes 2 steps back, and then just books it out the exit. It's so bizarre. It's like, what is going on? But yeah, the Ocarina will be used for different things. We're going to be picking up several songs pretty quickly here. Maybe not in this video, but within the next 2-3 videos, we'll be picking up at least 3 songs. So, welcome to Hyrule Field. This is a giant area, and it's actually pretty cool, so let's go ahead and head on out. But as all wonderful cutscenes must come to an end, so the most annoying monologues must begin. This is Kaepora Gaebora. He's annoying, just like Navi. This guy will periodically show up throughout your adventures and tell you different areas that you need to go to, despite the fact that the game usually tells you. So, go straight this way and you head to Hyrule Castle. I'm going to skip all the rest of this and say, yes, I got all that. He's basically telling you how to use your map, even though the game has told you when you picked up the dungeon map. Navi told you after you picked up the map. So, he tells you a third time. But yes, Hyrule Castle is directly north of here. There's that little bump. You can kind of see the road going towards that area. They kind of divulge up to the north end of that one little bump on the map. That is where Hyrule Castle is. And once you get over this hill, you're going to see it immediately. Like, it stands out like a sore thumb. It's very obvious where it is, so I don't even know why they had to direct you there. Like, you don't have to play Zelda to know what a castle is. Now, a lot of people seem to have trouble getting here before night, because whenever it turns to night, the bridge actually raises, and so you're not going to be able to get into Castletown. But if you just make a beeline straight for it, you'll make it there every time. So go ahead and stand on the chains if you can here, and I'll show you why whenever the chains come up, because having it turn to nighttime is fine as long as you can get inside here. Well, I only got one of them, but if you walk across that little top area right there, there's actually 60 rupees in total. 3 sets of red, and red rupees worth 20. Didn't go over the rupee amounts last video, but green is 1, red is 5, or red is 5, blue is 5, red is 20, I would say purple, but it's more kind of a magenta color. Did you get lost in this stupid thing? The purple magenta color is 50, silver is 100, and gold or huge, I don't remember what it's called. Gold or huge rupee is 200, so generally you won't see very much past the 50 rupee mark that often, so Yeah, you can come around in here and smash the pots. In fact, if you talk to the guard, he says that it's really boring in here, and he wishes there was more chaos going on. And then he says, hey, you want to go smash these pots? And if you leave and come back, they'll all reset as well, so it's a good way to pick up some money early on in the game if you feel you'd need it for whatever reason. So let's go pick up our first piece of heart here. This one's one that people often forget about, but it is technically, I believe, the first one in the game you can get if you're going in direct order. There is another one off the top of my head that you could get beforehand. But go and run into that little dog. There's a whole bunch of dogs running around here at nighttime. So run into that one that's kind of near the little market area right there. He's the white one, so it'll be pretty easy to tell. And then come in this room right here and talk to this woman, and this is her dog, which turns out to be Richard. She gives you a piece of heart in gratitude. And there's also a blue rupee in here, I believe, in this box. Okay, so there is. But yes, piece of heart, like I mentioned last episode, you collect 4 of those, and it will give you a new heart container. So pick them up whenever you see them, or if you can reach them and whatnot, because they're definitely useful. But yeah, he'll be around here. During the daytime, there's a huge crowd that's over there as well, so you might recognize it from there. Hey, your clothes, they're different. You're not from around here, are you? You would guess correctly. Oh, you're a fairy boy from the forest. My name is Malin. My dad owns Lon Lon Ranch. Dad went to the castle to deliver some milk, and he hasn't come back yet. Well, we're headed to the castle, so maybe we'll go see him. And the guards just let us go. Of course, there is a gate in front of the castle. But yes, this is Hyrule Castle in all its glory. And guess what? The owl's back. This way. What? The princess is inside the castle just ahead. Be careful not to get caught by the guards. Okay, that's about all the info you need. No, I don't want to hear what you said again. Good luck then. Like, all the info he gives you is not useful at any point, hardly. But if you roll into the tree where he was perched, you'll find a gold Skulltula, and it doesn't even have to be nighttime or anything. Some of the Skulltulas will only appear at night. This is not one of them, though. But, turns out you can't actually get through this area just yet, so we're going to leave and re-enter. You'll notice Malin is gone now. And she's right here. For some reason, a lot of people think you actually have to go through the segment and get caught by the guards, and then she shows up. No, if you leave and enter, she'll appear. There's no reason for you to go up the whole little guard segment right here. But, she'll say, if you're going that way, could you look out for my dad? And she gives you this item, which is the weird egg. Feels like there's something moving inside. Set it to C and see what will happen. Besides, lots of noise coming from all the way across the house. Okay, now we actually go through the guard segment. Now, for the weird egg to hatch, you're just going to have to wait for it to be daytime. Daytime will pass in here. The day-night cycle, that is. So, as long as you keep moving through the segment, eventually you can just wait, and then it will turn to day. Which is why I say get here at night, get the heart piece, and then do all that, and then once you have the egg, you only have to wait for the day segment. Because if you wait for it to be daytime, you'll get the egg during the day, and then you have to wait for night, and then for day again. Otherwise, you can just wait for day once, and, it takes half the time. And see, there you go, the chicken is hatched. You actually do need this chicken, and you're going to need it very shortly, because you're not going to be able to sneak around the guards using this pathway, and the pathway is always the same, so no need to worry about that. Because you can get through the outer layer of the guards and sneak past them, but you need the chicken in order to progress, because Malin's dad, Talon, is right here. And he is fast asleep, so we're going to use this chicken to wake him up. Howdy! Can a person get a little shut-eye around here? You picked a weird place to fall asleep, dude. Hello, and who might you be? Yep, I'm Talon, the owner of Lon Lon Ranch, but some people just call me Mario, except I'm kind of bald. I went to the castle to deliver some milk, but I sat down here to rest, and I guess I fell asleep. But why did you... Once again, doesn't make sense why he would fall asleep here. Seems like they would escort him inside or something, but whatever. But yeah, he freaks out because Malin's really going to let him have it, even though there's no implication of her getting angry at him at all. But now we're just going to use these 2 crates in order to make a little platform in order for us to get inside here. I think there's actually a trick with this one as well. We're going to see if I can remember it correctly here. Is if you push this one to right here, just before it falls into the slot, I think you can actually reach this area here. Yeah, there you go. You have to do a jump attack to make it there, but you only have to push one crate. And you're not going to ever have to sneak back in here. So, you don't have to worry about doing that multiple times. So now we're in the inner castle courtyard. Once again, you're going to have to sneak past the guard segment. This one's not difficult either, though, by any stretch of the imagination. It's still very simple. Come on. Now, it looks like you could sneak past him right here and just go to the next segment. You actually can't. You'll still get caught, which is stupid, but that's how it is. Now, if you wait for this guard to move around, you actually don't have to go on this platform on the top, and the platform's kind of hard to navigate just because of, like, the little things of grass that are in the way, so it might be worth your while to actually wait for him to move back around. Of course, he is taking forever, so I'm just going to go the normal way. Well, no, he's faced the other way now. Let's go. Yeah, so you can just run under there, so if your timing's right, then you don't have to worry about it at all. I see you right there, dude. You're actually kind of well hidden. But yeah, the guards here, not very brilliant. Now, to this day, I don't know what that statue is actually supposed to be. I mean, it's hard to tell. It almost reminds me, even though it doesn't look anything like, it almost reminds me of the statue in Wind Waker, the one that's like in Old Hyrule, when you go underwater. It kind of reminds me of that one, the one that pushes back in order where the Master Sword is and where Zelda stays safe. That's kind of what it reminds me of, but it doesn't look like the same statue. Because I'm looking at it right now, I still am not entirely sure what it's supposed to be. I guess it might just be supposed to be the hero, you know. But who knows. Doobie-doobie-doo. Once you get to this little segment right here, they can't catch you, even if they could technically see you in their actual line of vision. Once you hit that little barrier right there, then you're done. Very quickly, though, before we talk to Zelda... Oops, I missed. If you hit that little part right there, you can actually pick up a red rupee. As you can see, there's like a picture of Yoshi, there's one of Peach, there's one of Mario, and if you angle it again, you can also see one of Bowser and one of Luigi as well. So, that's a pretty cool little Easter egg. Another one is if you hit or fire a slingshot seed right there, a guard will pop out and say, "Hey, you don't cause any trouble," and then throw a bomb at you. Just kind of odd. I've always tried to like pick up the bomb and throw it at Zelda and see what happens, but you know, stupid me. Alright. What's up, Zelda? With your tennis ball green eyebrows, which don't match the color of the rest of her hair, as you can see in this shot right here. How'd you get past the guards? You're kidding, right? Is that a fairy? No, it's not at all. Do you have it? Yeah. Once again, all the yes and no's are a but thou must here. But Zelda has apparently had a dream where clouds were darkening over Hyrule, but suddenly a ray of light shot out from the forest. So, basically, she had a prediction that Hyrule was going to fall, and that there would be a savior, and that savior is you. And the thing that would cause Hyrule to fall would be Ganon, which we've already seen from the Great Deku Trees cutscene earlier. I'm sorry. No, you know who should be apologizing? Me. Like, this has been almost nothing but cutscenes. And unfortunately, there's not much I can do about it, because this... Fortunately, though, I will say, if you're playing the 3DS game, this does speed up. Like, not to the point of where I was skipping through K-Pora Game Wars, but the text does scroll by a lot faster. So, please keep this a secret from everyone. No! Come on, don't be a blabbermouth. Why does it matter if I keep this a secret? Like, whatever. The only person I'd want to keep this a secret from would be Ganondorf. Alright, round 2. I promise you it will not be this bad later on. Like, the cutscenes will not be this bad. This is where you're going to see the biggest text dump out of every part in this Let's Play. After this, it will not be that bad. I promise you. Minus, obviously, the ending, you know, like, whenever we have the credits and whatnot, but that's, you know, to be expected. That's fair, because the game's technically over then. There's one other text dump I can think of that's pretty long. But it's not for a while. Like, we won't see it for... If I had to spitball, at least 8 or 9 episodes. At least. It's going to be a pretty fair ways in. It'll be after the next 2 temples. And even after those next 2 temples, I'll probably go and pick up everything I can before moving on to the next segment of the game. The next third. To me, this game goes in thirds. But whatever. So yes, you need the 3 spiritual stones to pass. I accidentally skipped that. In addition, you also need the royal family's instrument, which is the Ocarina of Time. Now, Zelda herself has the Ocarina of Time. And she was spying on Ganondorf, which is kind of creepy. But basically what's going to happen here is Zelda's going to have you and herself team up in order to save Hyrule from Ganondorf. She's got the Ocarina and she's going to protect it. And we're going to go collect the other 2 spiritual stones. So yes, Ganondorf does swear allegiance to Zelda's father, the King of Hyrule, but she is very sure that he is lying. But of course, her father does not believe her because she's a princess and she's young and she's naive and whatnot. Love that shot of the flowers right there, even though they look very two-dimensional, but... You know, this was kind of the time where we were still working on our bugs for the N64, so it's alright. It's all good. I completely understand that. I know that the GameCube had that kind of issue, too. That's why I'm not a big fan of Mario Party 4. It's because I know that was one of the kind of the earlier launch titles. I know they're still kind of working out the kinks with it. Not even really the bugs, but, you know, they were still kind of getting used to what the system could really do. So, yeah, I understand that. So... I do believe you! Another shot of flowers. You are right. So I must not let Ganondorf get the Triforce. I will protect the Ocarina with all my power. He shall not have it. The Ocarina of Time, I should say. Like, we have the Ocarina, it's just the fairy Ocarina. So, she says, take this letter, I'm sure it will be helpful to you. And you get Zelda's letter. Wow, this is Princess Zelda's autograph. Set it to C and show it with C. So yeah, this will be used to help us progress as well. If you try to go to the second dungeon, you wouldn't be able to because there'd be a guard blocking the way. But you need other stuff in addition. If you talk to Zelda again, she'll say, go ahead and talk to my guard Impa. Don't be scared of her, despite the fact she's giant and terrifying. So yes, this is Impa of the Sheikahs. She's the one that actually is responsible for protecting Zelda herself, and she is pretty much, aside from Link, the only person that actually believes in Zelda, like, that Zelda's telling the truth. So her role is to teach Link a song for his Ocarina, which is the first one in the game you'll pick up. If you're going linear, anyway. I think you can get a Epona song before this. So this is a song that Impa used to sing to Zelda whenever she was younger. And this is known as Zelda's Lullaby. This is used primarily in the game to prove your lineage to the royal family. And not even lineage, but prove that you're connected to the royal family in some way, shape, or form. Because by knowing the song, it proves that you know the royal family. Generally, that's what it's used for. There are some other instances where it's not, but we'll get into those later. So Impa also escorts you out of the castle, so you don't have to go back through any of that segment. And we're back out in Hyrule Field. So, that is our next destination. This is Death Mountain, home of the Gorons. They hold the spiritual stone of fire. And also, at the foot of Death Mountain is Kakariko. So So it says you should talk to some of the villagers there. They offer some helpful advice, I guess. We're going to be picking up a lot of stuff, though, before we continue on here, so... Yeah, once again, it will help prove your connection with the royal family. Because there's some other stuff that we actually have. There's one thing in particular that's actually required to pick up to continue on, so... However, after that massive amount of cutscenes, we are done with this episode, and you know what? I think I'm actually going to record one more episode, because I'm probably going to put this one up and the next one up in the same day. Because I feel like you guys got cheated. This was like almost all cutscenes, so... I will see you guys in the next episode, which will hopefully go up later, or on the same day as this one, because, like I said, I feel like you guys got cheated out of, you know, a good video. This was like almost all cutscenes, so... See you guys for the next episode. Later.